What's up, my buttercups? Welcome to my channel where I share my experiences of my transformation journey on becoming the best and highest version of myself. And I want to take time to thank all my subscribers for hitting the subscription button and supporting the channel, as well as everyone who has left a beautiful comment on the bottom of the page. Thank you so much. Now, today I want to talk about distractions. Distractions are definitely everywhere in this day and time. You cannot escape from them. And what I mean by distractions is it can be the big things that you think of, like TV, cell phone, Netflix, all the streaming, the internet, social media, Instagram, Facebook, all of those different things. They can be relationships. You can distract by using people to make you escape from the things that you're not wanting to face. So, you may attract the narcissist empathic relationship because you're looking for that relationship to distract you from having to heal or to do anything. Or alcohol, drugs, numbing, anything like that. There is just distraction. I mean, this candle back here could technically be a distraction if I wanted to stare at it all day long and not avoid my adult responsibilities. I mean, literally anything can be a distraction if we allow it to be. And so these distractions make us steer clear of being able to achieve our dreams, to be able to bring to fruition what our talent is, what our hobby is, what our purpose is in this life. If you're distracted and you're unconscious and unaware of what you are doing and you are not building towards your goal, then the distraction is depleting the energy to be able for you to gain momentum and to bringing in your goal into something that is physically manifested. So, and distractions waste energy. It's wasted energy that we could use elsewhere, that it would be more beneficial to be used in different places. And just think about when you're watching TV and you're spending your energy, concentrating, thinking about it, focusing, and you're not really getting anything out of it. Same with the cell phone, mindlessly scrolling social media. And social media is not necessarily a bad thing. It can reach a lot of people. Like doing these videos, I can talk to a lot of people at one time versus a single person every single time or an auditorium full of people. I'm able to reach a lot of people because of social media platforms, which is really nice, but it also can be very distracting. It can be very mindless. It can be very a distracted mind is a very powerless mind. It is no intention behind anything. Your body is controlling you. It's just doing things unconsciously, not even aware of what it's doing. And so it wastes a lot of energy. It reminds me of the story of the farmer and the dog, where the farmer went to eat dinner at the neighbor's house, the kinfolk's house down the path. And the farmer walks there, and then he's going home after dinner's done, and on the way he's walking his direct path to his house, and his dog is beside him. And at one point the dog sees a butterfly and chases it. The dog sees some people along the path and gets all excited and interacts with them, and the farmer just keeps walking, and the dog eventually catches up, and then the dog sees another puppy and goes and interacts with it. But the moral of the story is the farmer gets home and he's not tired. He is completely fine, energetically great. And the dog is panting, out of breath, exhausted from the trip. And why is it they both took the same trip? However, one is tired and one is not, is because the dog kept getting distracted and having to play catch up instead of just slow and steadily getting to where it needed to go. Distraction over here, hurry up, have to catch up to the farmer, distraction, distraction, distraction. Now I got to hurry up and catch back up to the farmer. And it's a never ending cycle. And you're exhausted at the end because you're spending your energy here, 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 everywhere but your path. And then you're having to take what little energy you have left from not having these interactions and catch up. Whereas the farmer had stored all of that energy along and just kept plugging along, and then that energy is now able to be spent on something else instead of being tired and worn out. So just always keep in mind that with a distracted mind, if you get distracted by little things, you will never be able to accomplish the big things. And just remember that, because you're here to serve a bigger purpose. You are here to do great and big things. So quit getting distracted by these little things. Quit letting the enemy allow you to get distracted. Put the enemy in its place. No, you're not going to allow me to get distracted. I'm not, that carrot's dangling in front of my little face, and I'm not going to take a bite. I'm not going to give in to the temptation of getting distracted. And one other thing, if you do get distracted and you find yourself mindlessly scrolling on social media, because I do this, it's a habit, and I become aware. I'm like, oh wait, I'm mindlessly scrolling right now. I immediately stop. That was a hard thing to do, because I used to be like, oh, I'll stop here in a minute and then keep going. I became aware that I was doing it, but then I didn't want to stop. And so I kept doing it. And then I finally just get aggravated because I was on it too long. And then now I'm at the point where I'm becoming aware that I'm unconsciously getting on things, like, and just scrolling, or even TikTok. How many times you watch one video and then you've watched 50, or YouTube videos, or Facebook, or whatever the case may be, and you don't even realize you're doing it. Well, now when I become aware, I do stop and place the phone down and become more intentional with what I am doing with my time. But there's so much time that we are unintentional with. So the first thing is to become aware that, hey, this is a distraction. I am not being intentional right now with my energy and what I want to do. So choose discipline over distractions. So it's easy to mindlessly scroll through Facebook and not really have to have a care, not have to focus, not have to concentrate, not have to pay attention on doing something. Because think about it, anytime you're consciously doing something and you're aware, you're exerting more energy because you're more focused on it, because you know what the result is that you want. When you're going mindlessly through social media, you're not having to exert as much energy, because you don't necessarily have to focus. You can, and it's like you're there, but you're also not there. It's kind of like you get to unplug for a minute and you're just like mindlessly filling up your time. But all of those messages that you're subliminally seeing do affect you. But also just the sheer dopamine that you get with every click, and all of the rushes and all of the chemicals that are flowing through your body, it keeps you addicted to it. But that's a whole nother video. We're not going into that. But discipline yourself. So when you do notice and you become aware that, hey, I'm on social media mindlessly scrolling, hey, I'm watching the 750th TikTok video of the day, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, put it down and discipline yourself. It doesn't feel good at first, because it's definitely easier to mindlessly scroll or to do things that distract us. Whether sometimes it's eating, sometimes I just go and overeat because it feels better than having to face what I'm trying to feel, or focus on something that I need to be doing. It is so easy and effortless for me to not focus. So for me to really put in the energy, I have to quit distracting, and you have to become disciplined. Over time, what you need to do is just start small. Because what the good thing is you can't actually blame the distraction. You can't blame the food for making you distracted. You can't blame Facebook. You can't blame Netflix. You can't blame YouTube, TikTok. You can't blame this candle back here if you got distracted by it. You have to feed your focus, not blame the distraction. So, what you need to do is just have focus, use your energy to focus on what your end goal is. And you have to focus on things if you ever want to accomplish anything worthwhile. You have to focus on your craft, on your talent, on your hobby, on your purpose. You must focus on it to gain momentum, to build skill. And that's the one good thing about focus, is you can gain it by concentration. And concentration is a skill. And anything that is a skill means that you can practice and you can train and you can sharpen the skill. You can make it better. You can make it stronger. It can gain strength. So start out small. Try to concentrate on something. Go into prayer, go into meditation, and try to concentrate on something. You'll find you won't be able to concentrate on something for very long at all, and your mind will be distracted. But bring it back to that thing and start over. Forgive yourself and just allow yourself to go back. And then try it for longer, and then next time longer. So it may be 15 seconds, and then you move to challenge yourself really for a minute, and then, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, and it just grows and grows and grows because you practice it every night. Every night you sit and try to concentrate on one thing and allow yourself the space to get better and better and to get the skill, strengthen the skill. And so once the skill becomes easier, it's just out of habit. And you will find that it's easier to concentrate, it's easier to focus, it's not as easy to distract. Because right now, in the energy that you're in, it's easy to distract. It requires less energy to distract than it does to focus. Just be like a postage stamp, stick with it until you get there. It's all my only advice for you. It's just a little bit at a time. Just stick through it. And you will get there. You will get to your destination. You just have to develop the concentration skills over time, of course. But really, if you do develop the concentration skills, it eliminates distractions because no squirrel is going to grab your attention. No shiny object is going to grab your attention. You're going to be able to focus fully on what you need. And then you can allow yourself, for instance, like if you can give yourself permission to get on social media. It's not a bad thing, and it's not that you have to work for everything, but you just don't want to be mindlessly scrolling with no intention. And you don't want to be unaware of how much time you're spending, how much time is wasting. But if that is something you enjoy, then absolutely, within limits, within balance, enjoy it. It's not saying stay away from it. But one thing that I did find interesting was Stephen King even gave advice. He gave some writing advice to young writers, and he even wrote about do not become distracted, to close the windows, don't have a telephone, don't have a TV, don't have video games in your writing room. Do not be distracted, because your ideas cannot effortlessly flow if you're distracted. If you constantly are putting leaks in your system and being distracted to where you cannot focus on what you're doing, then you're not putting all of your energy into being able to move the boulder, which is achieving your goal and getting the boulder to achieve its own momentum and going on its own, if you're keeping yourself blocked from doing that, which is not focusing, constantly staying distracted. As well as if you're not trying to feel something, because sometimes we're in this spiritual work and we're doing the healing work and we just don't want to feel what's going on. Big, heavy things come up and you don't want to deal with them. Not at that time, not at that moment. And so you distract yourself. Hey, I'm going to watch this candle for 2 hours because I do not feel like having to work on myself. Or I'm going to go watch some TV and eat some food and just not think of anything. I just don't even want to think or process or analyze. And I'm not saying that that's not good to do every once in a while, because it's definitely good to not have to work 24/7. We are meant to have fun, but you don't want to stay so distracted that you're not able to concentrate, and to become really aware when you are being distracted and how much time you truly are wasting on distractions and not being intentional with your time and how important that is. So, in conclusion, if you stay focused and you focus on people, you focus on higher learning, you focus on your goals, you focus on your achievements, you focus on your career that you want to manifest, that would give you the life that you want to have, as you really truly focus in on these things, you will find that you achieve your best and highest optimal learning. You have mutually communicative relationships that are beneficial, and you can sustain high performance when you focus on things. So you can really learn your craft. So if you're just now getting into a talent that you can serve humanity, that can somehow, brighten up the day or shine your light, if you build momentum up because you're focusing and focusing and focusing, and you're building up that momentum, and you're building and building and building, you can sustain the higher performance levels for longer amounts of time. It's just like bodybuilding or working out, but it's all mental. It's all up here. So that was my video on focusing. If you resonated with it, just give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Mwah.